here's a little thought experiment I'm going to go through, see if I can get it done in the small amount of time I have between here and getting gas, because I've got to stop and get gas. So there's one aspect of ufology, or taking a thought experiment of the idea of, is there intelligent life out there somewhere? Okay. We have this planet. If you've not seen my video on catastrophism, I think it's called The End Happened. In a nutshell, we understand that we have, in this form of human being, have been around for about 125,000 years, right? We've had these hands and this brain structure 125,000 years. But we only have recorded history, a good understanding of the last 6,000 years, and everything past 6,000 years we're like bits and pieces. We have bits and pieces, but we don't really fully understand. But if we're able to go from not being able to fly at all, the Wright brothers, to the moon inside of 80 years, what could we have done if we only remember back 6,000? What could we have done, say, 30,000 years ago, 40,000 years ago, in an 80-year span? That couldn't we have gotten off the planet and headed to the moon? And then had a reset. We know that we've had meteor impacts that have been catastrophic, that wiped out the dinosaurs. And I think that science is saying that they have a discovery of a meteor impact about 25,000 years ago that probably did a high level of devastation. So go back 30,000 years, could we have had a highly advanced civilization that got wiped out by a meteor impact? All right, all that to say, we have a planet that has land masses separated by water all over the place, and that has, by anthropology shows, that has led to a fracturing of our species, right? We have different languages, we have different cultures, wildly different languages, cultures, religions. One aspect of that, or one reason for that, is the separation from all the land masses. So, could there be a planet out there somewhere in the universe where there is a single landmass? Everything else about like similar resource natures of the planet of Earth, and distance to the sun, the same size for the same gravity and all that, but where a species evolved and came up, a society came up, all in the same landmass, where these differences in culture and religion that causes us to fracture different languages, where we're not passing information very well because of all these separations. On a planet that has a single landmass, could that have not been an issue? And also no meteor impacts. Could that have not been an issue? And they would be scientifically evolved well past where we are, and learning how to bend space-time, learning new forms of energy that allow them to travel through space, not using fossil fuels and nuclear power, but being well beyond those forms of energy. Could that race exist? And could they be out there, popping around the universe? I don't think that's so far-fetched, I guess is what it comes down to. Obviously, we've got a single landmass between ourselves and Canada, and, their society is nutty. But I don't know that so maybe a single landmass doesn't solve all the problems, because Canada apologizing for everything, it's crazy. And, of course, us with these great cheeseburgers and stuff, like, we know what we're doing down here. Let me tell you something, is an American phrase, apparently. I was told by my Canadian friends. Let me tell you something, or what you need to know. It does sound pretty American when you say it like that. Anyways, I believe that it's possible that somewhere out there is a race that's very, they've got 125,000 years without much evolution. Means this form has kind of figured out what's a good form, right? So could there be a species that developed similar to ours? Or, go back 30,000 years ago, where we don't remember. Could Earthlings have become spacefaring, and then the devastation hits our planet, like meteor impacts that cause a new ice age, and they're like, we're not going back there, let's go find another planet. We've already figured out space travel, so let's just colonize some other place. And then all these years have passed, and they discovered, hey, that Earth planet that we came from originally, it seems to have settled down, and now they're getting close to the same technology that we can actually reach out and talk to them. I don't know that they would say that with the way the society is these days, but they could. Anyways, I think none of those things are so far out of field that they couldn't possibly be true. Now, are they true? How do you prove that? Could they possibly be true? I think that they could possibly be true, and I don't think I'm crazy to think that. I know that ufology and the idea of studying alien races, or these kinds of things, have been, through the mainstream media and everything, just poo-pooed and made like, ooh, crazy guy who thinks UFOs. I think that's unfair. Of course, I think that a lot of things the media does is unfair. I think that it is nothing. There is nothing wrong with asking these scientific questions. Can a race evolve? Could our race have evolved and then left and be floating out there? There's a good argument to say that even if we did leave, who's to know if they even kept records that show them how to get back to this planet? Like, that could have been long lost too. Which, you know, I always thought that Battlestar Galactica was kind of that whole story. Anyways, beyond all that, I am at the point where I'm going to get some gas, and this video's getting long anyways, but that's my thinking about, you know, do we exist out there, or does a humanoid exist out there on another planet that is spacefaring and could be visiting us just because they want to know what they left behind? I don't know. Alright, if you like this video, hit the like button and share and subscribe to the channel. Cheers.